Are you hearing anything about Jaire Alexander? Are you hearing any teams that are interested in him? You think that, there's any chance that he ends up on a different team, or you think that him and the Packers are going to figure out a way to keep this thing rolling in 2025?
Well, I'll say this. I had heard one team connected to him, and I saw that team at the owners' meetings or the league meetings. And I went over, I'm like, any chance you trade for him? And it didn't sound that way. So my read on that was, my guess is that they're not going to like it, but I would guess that they are more likely to release him than trade him. But it certainly seems like they're holding out hope that they're going to be able to find a trade partner, because they would have moved off him by now and they haven't. So they're continuing to look, and maybe they'll find something and maybe they'll turn up. But, I had heard one team had expressed some interest. I checked in with that team, and I'm like, trading for Jaire? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay. So based off that, my guess is they wound up releasing him, but maybe they were able to find a trade partner, get something back for him.
Adam, I'm sure you've seen the picture of Rodgers throwing with 𝑃_Metcalf at UCLA. It's just a matter of time. Is he just waiting for a big splash? And do you have any idea what the number will be for him?
I thought the comments from Art Rooney yesterday were interesting, because he made it sound like he believes that Aaron Rodgers is coming to Pittsburgh. But the people I've spoken to, they're kind of in the dark and they're kind of waiting. They haven't gotten an answer. And it certainly, with those comments yesterday, my guess, I would be more inclined to say that he's more likely to wind up in Pittsburgh, certainly. But I do think that he's been waiting in the back of his mind from Minnesota. It just feels that way. Like Pittsburgh's been interested all along. If you wanted to get that done, you could have gotten that done last week or the week before, and you haven't. So clearly you're trying to get more information, or deciding, or waiting, or whatever you're doing. I don't know. But the one place that he can play right now, and any time before the draft, is Pittsburgh. That's the one place he can go sign. He can't sign in Minnesota today. So he could wait. He could opt to wait, but it certainly sounds like Pittsburgh is the logical landing spot right now.
Adam, I know you let us know last week that next week you're heading down to Augusta. Seeing a lot of pictures from media covering the Augusta National Women's Amateur event, showing the picture of the menu and how just cheap all the food is down there. Do you have a go-to food item at Augusta National? Are you a pimento cheese guy?
Honestly, I was there one time the first year post-COVID when basically, the course was to yourself. And then I was another time I just went down to do like a speaking kind of thing. So I can't say I remember what I'm like, just eating when I can eat. I don't know what it was like. I don't remember.
Okay, do you like ice cream? Are you an ice cream guy? The Georgia Peach ice cream sandwich, Adam, you got to have it. I'm telling you this right now. Georgia Peach ice cream sandwich is spectacular.
I think the bigger question is, Adam, what's the longest you've been without your phone? You can't have your phone on the course, right?
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Well, I'll say this to you. The story that I always remember is, I go down with this group, and you get like assigned houses. And so the first time I went down, the group, I was in a house with 4 people. 2 of the 4 people were Dwayne Wade and his chef. So I was sharing a house with Dwayne Wade, his chef, and somebody else, right? And I remember walking, and there's a reason I'm telling this. I remember walking out onto they had like this rooftop patio in each house. And I walk out there, and Dwayne's sitting out there. He's having a drink. He's relaxing. He's enjoying himself. And it was the first day I'd ever been at Augusta. And I said, "What do you think?" And he goes, "They don't allow phones in there." I effing loved it. But with the curse word and everything. I remember, he said it, I was cracking up, because to me it was very weird. It's very weird to be on this course and not have your phone. I can't tell you the number of times it was like, I would imagine, I've never smoked, but it would be like a smoker trying to quit smoking when you reach for your pocket to go get a pack of cigarettes and it's not there. Like something that you've just done instinctually and habitually over and over for years and years. And then all of a sudden you just can't do it that day. And so I'm not going to lie, I go through withdrawals when I'm on the course, but you try to be present in the moment and take in the beauty of the course and look at your environment and surroundings and just hope that you have a good golfer, unlike the one that Gabe sent me in the AM PM.
Can't live it down.
I'm not going to live it down.
Yeah.
So that's why this is probably a bit of a risk. I thought Adam and I were on solid ground. We're not, since I gave him the bad tip, even though I wasn't here. Like I told Joshy specifically, even though I wasn't here, make sure you tell Adam this tip that would ended up being completely wrong. But Adam, because you're coming to Green Bay for the draft at the end of the month, like, can I ask you? I don't know if we're friends like this, but can you pick me up a hat while you're at Augusta? I can Venmo you. I can give you some cash when I run into you up in Green Bay. Like, are we that type of tight? You can grab me a hat from Augusta.
I mean, look, he's wearing the Bucks gear that we sent him, that ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee sent him. I feel like this is a little, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Do you care what kind of hat it is? Like,
nope.
What's the hat order?
I mean, all the hats are going to be good down there, and they kind of change it up every year. So I don't know if there's like, and it's not like they go, "Hey, here's our hat collection this year." I trust you, Adam. I trust you. You don't trust me anymore, but I trust you.
I'm not a big hat buyer. Is there hat sizes? Like, are you? Because I think they are sized down there.
Most of them are going to be
snapback.
A snapback, yeah.
Okay.
Adam, you need to know this. If we were to power rank the folks here on Jen, Gabe, and 𝘃𝙀, least agreeable to most agreeable. Gabe Neitzel is the most agreeable person on this. He goes with the flow, you know. I don't. I don't know. You've spent a little time around me. You know this by now, but I am the least agreeable person on the show, and Gabe is the most agreeable person on the show.
Jen, as a general rule, most women are that way.
He's right.
Chewy's just glad somebody else said it.
Jen, don't think you're unique or special. I'm married. I know what it's like. Okay?
You think you're some exception to the rule? You're just like all the others.
Oh, man.
Adam, last thing I wanted to ask you about is, I'm not sure if you saw this video, but we're going to talk about it a little bit later in the show. The Atlanta Hawks do this thing between halves, quarters, whatever it is, in the basketball games. And there was a contest where, you shoot the layup, you shoot the free throw, you shoot the three-pointer, you shoot the half-court shot, and you got two people going on either end. Well, on one end, this dude blew out his ACL, like on the first shot. And Gabe said the more interesting thing was the other dude just kept on going. He just kept running himself through the paces, running himself through the drills. Have you ever seen anything like that before?
Well, better not play flag football in the Olympics then.
Adam, we were just talking about some of the rules or the proposals that were approved yesterday. What is the one that you find most interesting?
Well, the tush push obviously is going to generate a lot of conversation, and I think there are a lot of interesting things. You have teams that are now allowed to do Zoom calls during free agency. Interesting. We had the new sky cameras that are going to be measuring the ball as opposed to the chain gang. That's interesting. We have the playoff overtime now extended to the regular season. That's interesting. But the tush push, I would not have thought that it would have been this far along, but clearly there's support in the league to get it out. And it certainly sounds like the commissioner wants it out. And if the commissioner wants it out and there's building support for it, and they had 16 votes yesterday, they're just working their way to get to 24 votes in May.
Can they do that before the start of the season, Adam, or does that have to wait till next year's owners meeting?
No, they're meeting again in May.
No, they're meeting next month in Minneapolis.
Oh, are they really? Wow. And you think it'll be done? Huh? I hope it is. I don't like.
Yeah, I think that's what'll happen.
Adam, the conversations that you're having with people, though, what is the holdup? Obviously, the league continues to stress player safety, and there's talk of it being a rugby play and not a football play. What do you think is the holdup? Why do you think some owners are not willing to go full bore? Yes, let's ban it.
Well, I think there are some that don't want it, but I think Roger Goodell's got to massage the ownership group and get the votes he needs. Like, you need 24 votes to get it overturned, and they got 16, and that's where it is right now.
Okay. Adam, I see NFL players want to play in the Olympics. Is there any way the owners are going to allow this?
Well, it depends. If it's flag football, yeah. I mean, it is going to be flag football, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, because the league wants it to happen, I think. And so it's got the league support. So if it's got the league support, they're going to get ownership support. By the way, do NBA teams not want their players playing in the Olympics?
Players in the NBA seem to have more power than they do in the NFL, though.
I know the Bucks weren't happy with, I don't think, with Giannis playing in the Olympics.
Well, it depends. What are they saying and what are they thinking? Because nobody ever came out and said they weren't happy with it. We know it's very important to Giannis to play for the Greek national team.
But this would be in the middle of training camp, Adam, right?
Well, I don't know how they do that, and I don't know the timing because we've never been through anything like this. But I'm gonna think that they figure it a way. And by the way, you know what are we talking about here? 1 or 2 players per team, like the elite of the elite, like an elevated Pro Bowl kind of thing. So maybe there's a couple of guys who are the star guys who missed the first week of training camp or something like that. I mean, I'm just riffing off the top of my head. I don't have any idea the timing or how it would work.
I'm just thinking because, I mean, there's so many provisions in their contracts now that prevent them doing from anything outside of football activity. I'm just thinking, like, if you're the owner of the Cincinnati Bengals, wouldn't you want to protect that $40 million investment per year that you just made on Ja'Marr Chase?
Yeah, but I guess I would say, is it that dangerous playing flag football? What's the chance of injury in flag football?
Non-contact ACL, muscle pulls, you know.
Look,
I mean, granted, who are they going to be playing, Adam? Japan? Like, you know?
You know, I was in Hawaii at the Pro Bowl when Robert Edwards was playing beach football. And basically blew out his knee. He was coming off a rookie year where he was the rookie of the year, I believe, ran for over 1,000 yards. His knee was destroyed in beach football. Never regained his form. Never. So, I mean, there's always a risk.
Yeah.
Right? But if you want to promote the sport, you want to participate in the Olympics, and you want to do that.
What do you feel the number's going to be for Brock Purdy? Because I know their owner came out yesterday saying, well, hey, we're losing a bunch of these guys, but the reason is because we're going to pay Brock Purdy this offseason. What's that number ultimately going to be?
To me, well,
hold on.
I think the
Time out. Adam, your phone has been popping off the entire time we have been on this show.
Yeah.
And again, it's great. This is your job. This is what you do. But can you at least share a little bit? Is it a player? Is it a coach? Is it an agent? Who are you chit-chatting with this morning?
Hold on one second. I got a lot of stuff coming.
Look at he's back on the phone. He's back on the phone.
Oh, boy.
Because you heard the ping earlier, right? Then I heard him set it down. Then I saw him pick it up. Then I saw him reading.
Yep. I got a couple of things going on. Nothing like one work thing, one personal thing. Like this morning, I went to I went to dinner last night in the Palm Beach area, and I have 3 college friends who are down here. They live in the Florida area, and so I was fortunate enough to be able to assemble 3 college buddies to go to dinner. We took a picture, and I sent it to my wife, and she's like, "You didn't tell me that one of my friends looks like Jerry Seinfeld." And I'm like, "Here, I'm going to send you the picture, Jen. So you can take a look and judge for yourself, right?"
Breaking news.
And so she's like, "Well, don't tell him I said that." So I sent it to her. She's like, "Well, I could tell him that he looked like Seinfeld." I'm like, "Well, that's a compliment. That's not a bad thing."
No,
yeah.
Jerry's a good-looking guy.
I just taking a picture. Right, these are my 3 college roommates.
Oh yeah, the second guy looks like Seinfeld.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, take a
There
look. That is nice that you are able to take a little time away
definitely.
when you're working.
I can see it. That's Jerry's brother. That's Larry.
Larry Seinfeld.
That's Larry Seinfeld.
What, the second guy? Yeah.
It's a little bit there. He's like Jerry's brother.
I had to do a double take because the third guy in looked like my agent, Eric Metz.
Oh yeah.
You know, Eric, he
This
does
is
look a little
the
like Eric.
most random conversation.
Yeah.
ever. I don't
That's
mind
good
it.
stuff.
I don't hate it. I just think it's random.
It's very Seinfeldian.
Yes, that's true.
This
Look at
conversation.
this guy. Look at this
Right?
guy. You guys look great, though. Look happy. You guys look healthy. You look like you got a little sun, which is fantastic. Down there in Florida,
Hey.
take a little time to hang out with your pals.
3 58-year-old guys hanging out there.